Hi everyone! Welcome to Artsonia's After School Art Club. Today we have a fun art project from Miss Tvedten, an art teacher from South Carolina. Hope you enjoy the video and don't forget to have your artwork uploaded to your Artsonia gallery.
Hello Artsonia Art Club, Miss Tvedten here in South Carolina, and today I want to show you how I created this watercolor, this winter tree, watercolor silhouette. The materials that you'll need: masking tape or painter's tape, any kind of tape that you can easily peel off of paper. And you do need a stronger paper for this. Specifically, I recommend watercolor paper because it is specially designed to work well with watercolor paints, and it's also strong enough that that you can peel the tape off of it easily without damaging the paper. Watercolor paints, and then of course you also need water. So I'll show you the whole process for creating these, but just I'll preview here and show you that the first step is that you will draw your tree with tape. You'll put a whole tree down with tape, and when I think about this, and I tell my students to think about how a tree grows, that it has one big trunk, then arms that go off of that, and then hands that go off of the arms, and then fingers that go off of that. And that as you get to those subsequent layers, like the trunk is the biggest, then the branches, and then each additional piece gets smaller as it goes toward the outside, and always growing up toward the sun to get a more realistic looking tree. And sometimes you can even do some roots, which look cool too. All right, back to the preview. Draw your tree with tape, then you will paint over the entire thing with watercolor. And then after the watercolor's dried, you peel the tape off to reveal a white silhouette for your tree. So this project's a lot of fun, and you get a lot of beautiful results, great for your Artsonia portfolio. Okay, let's get into it. Okay, here I am starting to build the trunk of my silhouetted tree. You can look online to see examples of tree silhouettes, or you can just look outside, depending on the season, because this is a deciduous tree, a tree that loses its leaves in the fall, or in the winter rather, after it's lost all its leaves, so that we can see all of the individual branches of the tree. If you don't have masking tape that's that wide, you can always use like 2 pieces of masking tape of a medium size. And then for the skinnier branches, if you don't have thinner masking tape, then you can just, even see how I'm ripping that to get the end to taper out, you can just tear 1-inch masking tape in half or even in quarters to get smaller pieces. And here I am in fast forward adding branches. One thing I like to ask my students to think about is adding lots of hands and finger branches. All those little small branches add an intricate look and a beautiful look to our finished winter trees. So get a lot of taped branches, leaving a lot of interesting space in between, making sure that looks cool, and fast forward, then I'm getting everything pressed down, and I'm ready now for step 2, which is the painting step. Here I'm talking about those watercolors go a long way. Those are all like a little bit low or even really low, but there's still plenty of watercolor in those little pans for me to use. So don't think just because your watercolors are older or because they've been used, good for you if they've been used, that they're no good. They're just as good to the very last drop. Now, I'm using the lid of my watercolor container to mix some new colors, and then I'm just going in and painting this whole sky. You can paint your sky any color you want. There is no real sky color that you have to use. I've seen winter tree pictures like this with rainbow skies, stormy brown skies, black, gray, any colored pinks and purples, any colors you can imagine look great in your sky. There I'm trying some wet and wet technique, just some interesting mixing of watercolor into wet watercolor. Now I'm going in fast forward. I am leaving a little edge around the outside of my picture where I'm not putting paint, which gives me a place to hold on to so that I don't get my fingers all painty. And then once you are finished with the whole painting part, and be careful, there's a puddle there at the little edge, set it to dry. You have to let it completely dry before you do the final step, which is so fun. You could use a hair dryer if you need to speed that process up, or just wait patiently for your painting to become completely dry. And I like to keep my lid of my watercolors nice and tidy, so I make them all puddly, and then use a paper towel to soak up all the puddly water, straighten out my brush, and then I leave those to dry. I don't close them because sometimes they'll get sticky if you keep them wet. Now the fun part, the painting part's really fun too, but this is the big reveal where you peel the tape off of the, mind you, dry painting. It must be totally dry. Peel all the tape away to reveal your silhouette. Now here my tape started to peel my paper, and that's fine. I just slowed down and went from the other direction so that it wouldn't tear it too much, and it was fine. You wouldn't notice it in my finished picture. Once you get all the tape peeled off, you're left with your beautiful silhouetted tree, and you're ready to sign your name on your finished artwork. So I hope you enjoyed it. Okay, I hope you enjoyed creating your winter tree silhouette, and now it's time for you to take your finished work, photograph it, and upload it to your Artsonia portfolio. All right, until next time, see you later.